Hello and welcome to Perfectly Paired with Chef Jim May. Today's menu is going to be a spring menu featuring our 2018 Charles Pinot Noir. The only Pinot we make from Anderson Valley. It's not Sonoma County, it's Mendocino. It is northwest of here, a little cooler, totally different fruit profiles, more red fruit, more bright acid, and more floral. And so it's a pretty little wine, and I'm going to match it with some seasonal ingredients, one being strawberries. And strawberries right now, season's March to November. They are a member of the rose family, so it picks up a little more of that floral kind of character. What I'm going to do is start with the pork. There's 3 steps. There's going to be the pork cooking. There's going to be a puree of strawberries, the roasted strawberry sauce, and then also a strawberry salsa on top of it. So it's real pretty. It's got different textures, lots of layers of flavor that all go really well with our wine. So I'm going to start with just salting and peppering. This is about a 1.5 pound pork tenderloin. It's going to go in a couple tablespoons of oil in a warm pan. Turn it up to hot. And I'm going to brown this on all 4 sides. It's going to take about 8-10 minutes. But while that's going, I'm going to be doing 2 other things. One is making the base for the sauce, which is going to be shallots in a tablespoon of butter, 1/4 cup of shallots, a tablespoon of brown sugar, and a teaspoon of dried thyme. You can just eyeball it or measure it out, which is even better. And I'm going to cook this just till the shallots are all soft. And then I'm going to add Pinot Noir and chicken stock, and then pause it. And then when the pork is done, the roasted strawberries will all go together, and it'll make a wonderful sauce. But while that's doing, I'm going to get these strawberries ready for the pork as it browns. This is called the calyx, or the crown, or the cap of the strawberry. It's green. You would think you couldn't eat it, but you can eat it. You can put it in smoothies. You can cook it with kale. It's a real digestive, healthy green for you. But anyway, these strawberries are going to be cut in half. I'm going to toss them with a couple tablespoons of balsamic vinegar. I want it to sit for 5-10 minutes. I'm going to put it with the pork as it roasts. And this is going to give it a little more caramelization, a little more flavor, and all that balsamic is going to reduce, and that'll go into the sauce. So that's doing well. Let me double check. I said you need about 2 minutes on each side. That's about 1 minute. So, and while that's going, there's going to be salsa. I'm making salsa with, again, strawberries. This is jicama. It's a root vegetable from Mexico, and it's kind of a sweet kind of raw potato. It's not taste like raw potato, but it's kind of sweet and nutty. And you take off all this skin, which is not really edible, not like the other things. And then you just take it, cut it like this, cut it like this, and then you dice it, and this becomes part of the salsa. It picks up the flavor, gives that textural crunch. And then I take the strawberries, and I cut those into like 1/4 inch pieces. Very easy. So we want to do this at least a half hour before everything else is done. You can do this in 30 to 40 minutes if you're all organized. And I'm trying to do that. So the strawberries, like I said, seasoned right now. I always thought they're actually, like I said, part of the rose family. And then I'm going to put a little bit of purple onion in here. Dice it up. Pretty fine. We just need like a 1/4 cup. We don't want it too strong. Put that in there. I'm going to put in a couple tablespoon of lemon juice and lemon zest. Little salt and pepper. And then I'm going to finish it with a little bit of basil. Just chop the basil real fine. Like you can make a chiffonade, which is rolling it like this, and then cut it like that. And you don't need a lot. Again, the 1/4 cup is probably all you need. That goes in there. We're going to toss and let this all kind of macerate a little bit. This will be the topping for the pork. Another, again, more textures, a little more different flavor profiles with the lemon and with the basil. That is ready to go. This is going to be brown on one side. And this is just about ready for, I've got this nice, it's getting soft, everything's caramelizing. I've got the thyme in there, a little bit of brown sugar, and that looks good enough to go for the next step, which is going to be 1/2 cup of chicken stock, some of our wonderful Charles family wine. I'm going to cook this for probably about 10 minutes. It's going to reduce by half, and then I'm going to turn it off, and when the pork is done, I'm going to pull that out and take those strawberries and take the juices that accumulate and puree it in a blender. Okay, now we've given a couple minutes on each side. You can see how we get a nice brown coat on it. I'm going to remove this from the heat just for a moment to add the strawberries that I've been soaking in balsamic vinegar. Just going to sprinkle it around there, a little bit on top. Spread them all out a little bit. And then all of this is going to go into the oven for a total of about 25-30 minutes. But I'm going to turn it over after 15. So I'll put it in a 400-degree oven. I'm going to set the timer for 15 minutes. It'll be a little over half. And it'll get brown. The strawberries will start to caramelize. And this sauce is just about reduced down. We want to reduce the amount. It's not going to get thick yet, but I want to reduce it down by about half. It's got the Pinot Noir and the chicken stock in there. And so I'm going to let that finish reducing and let the salsa that I made kind of marry together. This will go on top. And I've taken some pine nuts and toasted the pine nuts. This will be part of the salsa, but it won't be until I put it on top because I don't want to lose that crunch and that toasty butteriness to it. So the wine, I'm going to try a little bit of the wine. Like I said, it's a 2018, a really great year. It's one of the 10 that we make, the only one that's from Mendocino County. All the rest are from Sonoma. But this has this bright berry, it's got strawberry, raspberry, it's got a floral character to it it's going to incorporate, it's going to be wonderful with all the different sauce, the pork, and then the salsa on top. Let me just make sure it's going to be good. It's delicious, really good. So if you like some of these videos, the Perfectly Paired with Chef Jim May, we've done 16 of them, and they're all seasonal, they're all with different wines, and they're all perfectly paired with those wines. You can go onto our website, look into our recipe file, and you can pull up the videos and or the recipes, and make it at home yourself with a bottle of our wine. I'm going to pull this out. It has been in the oven for about a half an hour at 400 degrees. I'm going to double check it with the thermometer. It's going to be 135 to 140 for medium. It's going to be, this is 135. It's going to, if you like it a little more pink, do it a little bit less. But I'm going to let it sit for a little bit so the juices can stay in there. And in the meantime, all these strawberries along with the balsamic and the juices is going to go into a pan here. Very hot. This is going to go all together there. And then all that's going to go into a blender. And we're going to put all that in there. nice and smooth. And then I'm going to strain it. I mean, you can serve it as is, but I am actually going to strain this. I'm going to put it in a fine mesh strainer. I'm going to push the solids against the solids to get the nice flavors out. Just add so much of that. Just push it through. And then we'll adjust it for seasonings. I haven't really salted much of it. But this is worth the whole dish right here. It's gonna really bring out the flavors of the pork and the wine. Get that cleaned up. This is done. Let's give that a taste. I think it doesn't need a whole lot because it had seasoning from the pork. A little bit of salt and a little bit of pepper. Get this again. Perfect. Okay, so assembling this, I'm going to slice the pork quite thin. I like it a little thin, because it looks better, and we're going to kind of shingle it. So I'm looking at like 1/4 inch pieces, and this is like me. This is just barely got a little pink in the middle, and this is going to be enough for 4 people. They're not really starving. It could be even 6 if it's just a different course. But I'm going to take the sauce. It doesn't take much sauce, but I'm going to do a little smear there. I'm going to put about 4 of these down. Five if they're hungry. I'm going to do a little more of the sauce. And then I'm going to put a little bit of the salsa on top. Different texture, a little different flavors. There's some like rich fruit flavors, dark fruit flavors there, and these are the bright, clean flavors. And I'm going to put some of that right on top. Along with the jicama, gives it that little crunch. And I'm going to put a few pine nuts on there just to reflect the nuttiness of the jicama and the wine. And let me I'll have some little side. You can serve this with any kind of potato. You can serve it with scallop potatoes, green beans. I happen to have sugar peas, and this is some lovely creamy mashed potatoes. This is what it's going to look like. Let me get it rolling there. So I'm going to give this a little try. This is the best part about cooking for the show. I'm going to cut a little bit of that pork. Make sure you get some sauce, salsa, with a little bit of the pine nuts and the tomatoes and the jicama. Good crunch. Oh, that's good. I'm going to try this and then have another bite. Really brings it makes the food better, and it makes the wine better. It's hard to believe, but it does. All that strawberry, some that's a little darker flavored, and some that's all fresh and fruity. All goes with the different layers of the wine. This is a winning dish. It looks really elegant, real easy to put together. I mean, it's free. Like I said, you can even make the salsa a day ahead. You can make the sauce base a day ahead. You just finish it all up with a half hour of cooking the pork, and then having a little wine along the way, like I did. So, enjoy. I hope you make this, and if you have any comments or any suggestions, I'll be glad to take them. Otherwise, here's to the good life. Cheers.